Ali Hazelwood works tirelessly and in ways that the feeble human mind just can't even fathom.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Hey gang, how are we? I'm Allie. If you're new, it's been a while. I'm super sick and I have been super sick for a long time, but I'm not gonna let this stop me, okay? The first thing that we need to know about women in STEM is that we persevere. I'm not a woman in STEM, but like for the next however long, I'm going to be. Just kidding. That was probably gross. I'll probably cut that out. Okay, today, what are we talking about, do you ask? God, I feel like Dora the Explorer, the way I just like be asking questions and like, it's just me in the silence of my dining room. Today we're talking about Ali Hazelwood. I know. This is so exciting because we have the same name. When I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the next video, I was like, well, I like need to pick an author where I've read their entire backlist that I know enough to like inform the lovely peoples of the world. And this list of authors is really short. I think that this is the last author on this list. And also I wanted to wait until her new book came out, which we'll get into later, so that I can give you my thoughts and like dish. Everybody loves when I dish. I love when I dish. You love when I dish. I hope that that's why you're here. Oh, I missed you so much. We're giving best friends. We're giving best friends for sure. Same with me and Ali Hazelwood. We would get along so well. Okay, OOTD, we've got glasses on because I'm a woman in STEM. Ooh, not to be presumptuous, you can be a woman in STEM and not wear glasses, but this just felt like the right thing to do. You know, it's giving chemistry studying in the lab all day vibes. I hope. Probably not, but that's okay. Shirt. One of my favorite shirts of all time. This is my Darth Tater shirt. It's because I don't have any Ali Hazelwood merch. So the closest I could come is Star Wars merch, but I also don't have any Star Wars merch. So the second closest I could come is this shirt that I got when I was 13 at the National Potato Museum in Idaho. And if you haven't been to the National Potato Museum in Idaho, girl, I honestly don't know what you're doing. Like, this could be you. This could be you. Darth Tater, Spud Wars. Shit's hella funny. Shit's hella funny. I feel so stupid. Now that we've done the OOTD, drink of choice, a Yogi Throat Comfort tea for obvious reasons. And then this time I have a snack of choice. I know. I'm gonna get this in my teeth and then you guys are gonna see it the rest of the time. Please don't judge me. It's just like not gonna be fun. This is popcorn because I feel like no true deep dish would be complete without like a good raunch snack. I don't know what the word raunch means. I just like completely misused it. But popcorn feels appropriate, no? You should get yourself some popcorn, I say. And also, I did bring something to combat the fact that it's gonna be in my teeth. Floss. So if I have to stop and floss, I'll let you guys know and then we can all take a floss break. I also am acutely aware that you can see my entire home in the reflection of these glasses. Like, you can see my windows. Ignore it or don't look me in the eyes, you know? There's so many other things to be looking at. I want to preface this by starting and saying that my main source of information is Reddit. This brings me to 2 points. On our pro side, this means that I'm bringing you extremely authentic information, okay? Like, it's from the source, to be honest. That's great and all, but this does come with negatives. This information, whether or not it's true, I just like don't really know. If I say something, if something comes out of my mouth and you're just like, girl, like that is so far from true, or if I talk about a plot and it's wrong, okay, I'm a forgetful girl and like you like give me forgiveness and just drop a comment and like tell me what I did wrong. Lots of grains of salt need to be taken. Let's just say that. So, you've never read a book in your life is what I'm gonna assume before we jump into this. These are, okay, If you don't know who Ali Hazelwood is, she's the author of all of the books that are behind me, and there's a lot of books on the wall. This is not quite like last time where there was like 4.5 kind of ish. It's kind of a Goliath, to be honest, and I'm really overwhelmed by this. Also, she was a full-time professor, which is crazy. Oh my gosh. Future Ali, censor this. I already have popcorn in my teeth. Ali Hazelwood was born in Italy, but she came to America to complete her PhD in neuroscience at Stanford. And for all of you hot, sexy, amazing women who are women in STEM, she's researched brain simulation and cognitive neuroscience. Love you all. Ali Hazelwood is not her actual name. It's a name so that people who read her books don't find her at her university. Did I try and find her real name? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, okay? I respect boundaries and yeah, I never would have revealed it to you guys, obviously. But it's honestly not on the internet anyway, so like don't even try. She started writing in 2018. So 3 years before she ever got published. Where was she writing? What was she doing? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you asked. She started writing Raylo fanfiction on Archive of Her Own in 2018. Now, if you are cool and fun and people really, really like to hang around you, those words might be like super foreign to you. Let me break this down. Raylo is the ship name of the 2 characters in the new Star Wars trilogy. Do we get why I wore the shirt now, guys? Spud Wars? Okay. It's between Kylo Ren and Rey. Basically, they kind of have a romance in the series, but like not really. You can watch that for yourself and see how that ends. The girls really, really liked it for reasons including, but so not limited to, Adam Driver. Alihazelwood is simply no exception. She decided that she was going to start writing fanfiction and honestly went off with a bang. She has so many fanfictions, some of which are still up, and we can take a look at together. Good Will Hunting alternate universe in which Rey Johnson, an unrecognized genius, finds herself studying advanced mathematics with Dr. Ben Solo. Kylo Ren returns to his destroyer to find Rey in his quarters, a missing scene from The Rise of Skywalker. An Alpha posts on Reddit personals looking for an Omega who's exactly like Rey. Rey replies. When Rey's around, Ben has a ridiculously high sex drive. Ben and Rey find each other on Halloween in the middle of a corn maze. 4-time sea serpent Kylo and Rey are still trying to figure sex out, and one time they know exactly what they're doing. One in which aliens make them do it, and Ben and Rey are mostly okay with it. It might be very cold on the Falcon, but huddling together for warmth is still a terrible idea. Okay, some of these things I just can't say on the internet. I'm pretty sure that you get the gist. If you guys want the link, like, I will put it in the comments. Like, seriously, just let me know. Like, I will drop this link so fast. The big takeaway here is that all of her works, they weren't necessarily set in the Star Wars universe, as we saw from the Good Will Hunting AU. So she really didn't limit herself, and people loved these. My personal favorite, I'm so happy you asked. It's called Capitalism is Immoral. It's about Rey Johnson, who is a Democratic elected official for New York, and Ben, who's a Republican elected official. But the problem, like, oh no, he finds her so hot, but he's not supposed to because she's from a different party. It's giving star-crossed lovers, but like better. I don't know. Shakespeare could never, in my opinion. Like, he just has nothing on Ali. So okay. Second part of this sentence, Archive of Our Own. What's that, do you ask? It's also known as AO3. It's basically like Wattpad, if you know what Wattpad is, for girls who are like way too in deep. And honestly, the interface is just one of the worst things I've ever had to deal with. I'm so sorry. I love Archive of Our Own, but I hate having to work the interface. So before we get into how she got from fanfic writer to published New York Times best-selling author, I want to talk about the 3 papers behind me, which you can like just totally 100% see through, and you're gonna pretend that you don't, okay? You're gonna pretend that you don't because I'm out of paper, I'm out of ink, and I'm out of a will to try and change anything about that. These behind me are what I like to call the alihazelwood laws of attraction. What are the 3 absolute requirements you will not read an alihazelwood book without running into these? I'll reveal them as they appear. So basically, one day in some year, her publisher, who she still works with now, ran into her work on AO3 and was like, yo, low-key this Ben Solo and Rey shit kind of hits. And like, who can blame her? She was like, hey, we could like hella publish these. And so alihazelwood was obviously like, yeah, I'm working as a professor, but like I wouldn't mind like kicking up a side gig. And there was one book in particular that the publisher seemed to really like, which would eventually become alihazelwood's first book, and it was originally called Head Over Feet, but became The Love Hypothesis, which was just like one of the biggest books for the year it was published. It was actually crazy. If you haven't seen this cover, you are insane, or you don't read at all, or you can't read. I'm honestly not sure, like, what's your gig? The original Head Over Feet you can still find on Reddit, but it just has like the original names and stuff. So what's this book about? Basically, the premise. It takes place at Stanford. There's this grad student. Her name is Olive now. And she has this ex-boyfriend, but she's fine with him. And her best friend kind of wants to date her ex-boyfriend, which the mechanics of this being okay, I wouldn't personally be okay with, but I digress. Her best friend won't start dating him until she knows that Olive is over him. And Olive is like, no, like, please do it. I'm over him, blah, 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 blah. I even have a boyfriend. Complete lie. Olive doesn't have a boyfriend. And now must prove to her friend that she does have a boyfriend. Well, how could she possibly do this? Oh, I know. Kiss the first man she sees in the hallway. Which is exactly what she does. This man turns out to be Ben Solo. Just kidding. Adam Carlson. He is basically like the huge asshole on campus, right? Which... so lovely. Giving son of Darth Vader. Giving Spud. Now she's kind of like in this predicament where she just told her best friend that she's dating this man on campus and needs to like keep up the ruse that her best friend will date her boyfriend. I'm honestly not sure. And she's like, oh, but he's not going to agree to fake date me. Like, why would he? He just like doesn't like me at all. And then shocker, he agrees to fake date her. For what reason? Like, oh, I just like don't know. You'll have to read and find out. They're making this into a movie, which is so exciting. You should all be as hype as I am. It has 4.15 stars on Goodreads, which is really, really high. I won't get into my opinions right now. I'll get into my opinions later. Don't worry. I know that you want them. 2022 rolls around and Ali Hazelwood publishes another book, Love on the Brain. Ali Hazelwood works tirelessly and in ways that the feeble human mind just can't even fathom. This book is about B, and a last name I can't pronounce but we'll put on the screen here, who is obsessed with Marie Curie in a way that's truly only comparable to the girls on Twitter back when One Direction was still together. In her personal life, she's extremely dedicated to staying active in the Marie Curie community. She even has pen pals. She even is pen pals? She has pen pal? Anyways, with another fan. But her work life is far from the fandom escape. She's being forced to head a project at NASA with her ex-academic rival, Levi, and she will stop at nothing to avoid this tall, dark man who hates her. Obviously. This book has 3.92 stars, which is still pretty high, but not as high as Love Hypothesis. But what do these two books have in common? Let's do some... what the fuck do they call that? Critical thinking. They are both set in the world of STEM, which leads us to the first Ali Hazelwood Law of Attraction. Ooh, I almost tore him clean off the wall, bro. Hashtag STEMinism. What we've got here is an edited photo of Adam Driver's head onto a scientist, and he's writing on the board hashtag STEMinism. Let's break this down. Every single Ali Hazelwood book you read in one way or another will be set in the world of STEM. Even the ones that you just like don't even think that they can possibly have anything to do with STEM when he's literally a werewolf. Don't worry, she finds a way. Ugh. I love this picture. This is, I think, the most important law, which is why I put it first. I would honestly compare it to the importance of the law of gravity. Argue with my wall, and you literally can't. Look at all these girls in STEM. They would beat you out in a second. Then, in 2022, again, she decides to start releasing little novellas that are called the Steminist novellas. The first one was called Under One Roof. I'm going to go through these pretty fast because they're pretty quick. This one has 3.66 stars on Goodreads, and it's about Mara and Liam who are forced to live together. Then she releases Stuck With You, which has 3.58 stars on Goodreads and is a second chance romance between Sadie and Eric who are stuck in an elevator together. And then Below Zero has 3.59 stars on Goodreads and is about long-term rivals who are stuck in an Arctic research station, which now reading that out loud sounds absolutely preposterous compared to the premise of the other ones. Anyways, so in 2023, she combined these into the Loathe to Love You set, and so now you can buy them as like one book, but 3 stories, and they connect because the 3 girls in them are all besties in real life, or in paper life. They're best friends, and that's why their books are together. They also all work in STEM, obvi. But they're the only books that I think might not follow the second law of attraction that I put on the wall, and I'm not entirely sure because I read these quite a long time ago. This second law of attraction, it really isn't a law. I promise I know how science works. It's more of a theory that is true like 95% of the time. So let's just like get to it. Woo! It's a picture of Ben Solo with no other context. It just looks like Adam Driver as Ben Solo being super hot and sexy. Basically, in practically every Ali Hazelwood book, there will be a character that you meet at the beginning who's a mentor figure and who you want to trust really bad, and they will betray you by the end. And they will also be the thing that divides the 2 main love interests from being together before the end. I'm sorry, it's not really spoilers because I feel like a plot device isn't spoilers, right? But this is just like true in nearly every single Ali Hazelwood book. And so why is it a picture of Ben Solo? Because he betrays Rey in the second movie. I don't know, I'm not a Star Wars fan. Somebody else let me know. Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, is there popcorn in my teeth? Can somebody let me know? I'll take a floss break in a sec. 2023 rolls around and Ali Hazelwood publishes Love Theoretically, which is a play on words from the movie Love Actually. It has a 4.12 stars on Goodreads, and it's about Elsie and Jack. Elsie, she's... oh my gosh, why am I winded all of a sudden? She's a professional fake dater, and she has this one client who's like super nice, not romantic vibes or anything. He's not really hot, but she's been going on consistent fake dates with him, so his entire family thinks that she's his girlfriend, and they're all super convinced except for his super, super hot older brother named Jack, who's just like not convinced that they're actually dating. Jack is also the guy who ruined Elsie's professional partner's career. So they're already at odds, you know, and then he doesn't believe her, and it's a whole thing basically. This is also kind of like star-crossed lovers because she's a theoretical physicist and he's an experimental physicist, and there's apparently like tensions, which causes personal tension in their personal lives when they do personal things with each other. It's really hot. Then we have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. By Ali Hazelwood, obviously. We have Check and Mate, which this is her first dip into YA romance, which is kind of problematic, and I will get to in a second. It was published in 2023 and has a 3.99 stars on Goodreads. It's about Mallory, and Mallory is great at chess, basically, and slaughters the king killer Nolan Sawyer at chess. She gets signed onto a chess agency-ish and is forced to interact with this Nolan a lot. Problem, Mallory has only ever had physical relationships, and she struggles with the idea of disappointing her family, and so yeah, she just like can't really deal with the fact that she likes him. And that's the plot. Why is this problematic? I'm gonna try and make this not opinionated. The reason that people are mad is because it has very adult themes, like the fact that she only ever had physical relationships with people, and she's supposed to be like in high school, I think. She's 18, and you don't really like read a lot about that in YA. So that's why it's slightly problematic to the community. Okay, I'm gonna move on. It's literally not set in the world of STEM. I literally just came to that realization. I'm sure it does though. God, okay, I'm gonna have to fact check when I'm editing this. I'll find a way to connect this to the first law of attraction.
Sorry, this is ASMR. My grandma's asleep. It's not set in the world of STEM at all, and I'm a liar. I did get the ebook of this so that I could scour and try and find science, technology, engineering, or math in the book at all, and it only appears a couple of times, and it's not in like the context of the plot or anything, and I'm just sorry. I'm underfunded, underpaid, overworked. Those are just excuses. I actually have no excuse at all, and I'm so sorry. Okay. There's a couple of things I lie about, so just like prepare yourself. I'm so sorry.
God, I'm so embarrassed now. I'm gonna move on. I'm so sorry. Okay. Next, this year in 2024, she published Bride, which has 4.06 stars on Goodreads. POV, you get sold to an alpha werewolf is its thing. A vibe shift, basically. There's a huge vibe shift going on. Misery Lark, which is really her name, and I'm not kidding you, gets married off to werewolf Lo Moreland, which also just sounds like a fake name. Anyways, this is for family alliances between species and whatnot, and the lore goes deep, and I'm just not going to get into the lore. It's basically like Omegaverse stuff. If you don't know what Omegaverse is, how do I even begin? I'm also not explaining that. I'm so sorry. You're just gonna have to stay in the dark. You should just read it for yourself and figure out. Despite the vibe shift, she is still a woman in STEM. I'm positive of this. I'm positive of this. Then, 2024, she published Not in Love, which is her newest book. This has a 3.92 stars on Goodreads, and it's about Rue's company gets taken over by this usurping group who cares not for science. One tiny small problem, except that he's actually really big. Eli, who is one of the usurpers and is also a man that Rue meets on this like hookup only app the night before they meet. Don't worry, they didn't have sex. He just saved her and drove her home, which emotionally is way more damaging. And oh dear Lord, what will possibly happen and how will they fight this attraction between them? That's the book. This leads us to our third law of attraction for Ali Hazelwood books, and this is that the man will be so outrageously large in every aspect of the word. This is Adam Driver's face edited over George Lopez from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I hope that you get it. I hope that somebody finds this as like incredible as I did. I did this myself. So yeah, he's huge and she's also really tall. Ali Hazelwood has also talked about this on the book tour. She was like, guys, I don't make all of my like female main characters super tiny. The thing is that you think they're tiny because the men will all be so big. And she said that she will never not write huge, outrageously large men. So that's why it's a law. Honestly, this might be the strongest law. I don't know why I put it last. Then, this is gonna be her next book. Originally, when I was researching for this video, this book was called WHET. WHET, wet. And I was hella confused, as anyone would be, and I like read what the girls were saying on Goodreads, and they had thought that it was an acronym, and I was like, okay, weird, like I don't know what's happening. I trust Ali with my life, but like I don't know what's happening. Then when I went to go do more research, she had changed the name to Deep End, which is more normal sounding, but now I'm kind of disappointed because I really wanted to know what wet meant. Anyways, now you know what this deep lore that is like probably gonna disappear from the face of the earth.
Back again. I know you missed me. Since filming this, Allie has actually put out a public service announcement, which you can read here in its entirety if you would like, basically explaining the whole situation. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know and notify that. And if you want to see my thoughts on it and what I commented, yeah. And if you're wondering, yes, I do like my own comments. My number one fan is me. So you bet your bottom fucking dollar that I'm the first like on everything I do. Okay, sorry, that's kind of embarrassing. Maybe I'll change that. Okay, I don't know. Anyways, okay, hashtag wet for life.
This is the Goodreads synopsis because it's not out, so I obviously haven't read it. So yeah, Scarlett Vandermeer is I literally just like can't read. Does that ever happen to you guys? Say yes. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm taking floss spray.
Science rules.
Okay. Did I look good, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Scarlett Vandermeer is swimming upstream, a junior at Stanford and a student athlete who specializes in platform diving. Scarlett prefers to keep her head down, concentrating on getting into med school and on recovering from the injury that almost ended her career. She has no time for relationships. At least that's what she tells herself. Swim captain, world champion, all-around aquatics golden boy Lucas. Do y'all see that name? Bloomquist thrives on discipline. It's how he wins the gold medals and breaks complete focus with every stroke. On the surface, Lucas and Scarlett have nothing in common until a well-guarded secret comes out and slips. Secret slips out and everything changes. So they start an arrangement, and as the pressure leading to the Olympics heats up, so does their relationship. It was supposed to be just a temporary, mutually satisfying fling, but when staying away from Lucas becomes impossible, Scarlett realizes that her heart might be treading into dangerous water. Sir, I'm pretty sure that this is a new adult romance, and sounds hella good. She's kind of dipping her toes into sports romance-ish, but they still do STEM. They still have STEM, guys. Don't worry. Now that you know all of the things about the books, we're going to talk about what I think about them because shocking to everyone, I think things sometimes. So I read The Love Hypothesis. I'm not ranking them the way that I did last time because actually, I could rank them. Now I'm rethinking everything. I'll rank them like off the top of my head. How about that? And then it can be a surprise for us both. Okay, I read this on August 11th, 2022. I gave it 4 stars and I said very average. Confused about all of the hype. I will say though, I love a woman in STEM. I still feel the same way about this. It was just kind of, I felt nothing that we hadn't seen before. And I wasn't like crazy about any of the characters or anything, but still really good. Important things about this. alihazelwood tweeted that BuzzFeed said The Love Hypothesis has the same vibes as the hand flex in Pride and Prejudice 2005. I find that really relatable because it's like my two worlds crossing over. You know, if you haven't seen Pride and Prejudice 2005, we wouldn't get along. But me and alihazelwood, we could rock shit up. Next is Love on the Brain. I read November 24th, 2022, and I gave it 5 stars, and I said, I'm currently in a 10-step program to recover from my addiction to this book. alihazelwood busted ass for this book, and Levi. So that should say something. I also put this on my boyfriend master list, my book boyfriend master list on Goodreads, which if you haven't checked it out, because he's criminal. I actually hate the way that he looks on the cover. I know that it's a drawing and he's not a real person, but I hate the way he looks. The side part is doing nothing to help how hot he is in the book. I promise. And you'll just have to listen to me, okay? I really, really liked this one. And then we'll blast through novellas. I gave Under One Roof 4 stars. I read it on September 15th of 2022, which I think is a lie because I feel like I remember reading this on a boat and I was not on a boat on September 15th. Anyways, I said this was a big slay by alihazelwood, and I stand by that. Okay, Steminist 2, I also gave 4 stars. I said very lovely slay. Apparently I also read it on September 15th of 2022. This is feeling like a lie to me. This is feeling like I was behind on my book reviews and I did them all on the same day. I'll be for real. And I know that I read this one in a pool. Could I tell you any part of what the plot is about? No. But I know that I was floating on an inner tube when I read it. Okay, this one, I gave it 3 stars, also on September 15th of 2022. I'm sorry, I'm a big fat liar. I said I'm not a fan of the male protagonist, mediocre, but I loved our steminist main character, obviously. And I don't remember him, even though I hated him. So the lesson here is to always wipe men you hate from your mind entirely to the point where you forget their existence and why you hate them in the first place. Next. Okay, this book I actually love talking about because we're literally gonna get so personal right now. So me and my lore with this book go super deep because last year I was in the hospital for 3 days. I'm fine now. I just had a really bad UTI. Get your UTIs checked out, girls. They don't play. They were worried I had sepsis and was gonna die. So, but you know what brought me back while I was in my time of peril? This book, okay? Love this book. I gave it 5 stars. My review is long, but we're gonna get through it, okay? Because it's really fun, I promise. Get you a man who. In this essay, I will. Ladies and gentle bitches, Ali Hazelwood has done it again, this time with lightning round exclusives, like an incredibly relatable narrator with actual real issues and not a carbon copy Polly Pocket. If you know, you know. Actually not boring at all plot lines. This is a foreign sentence out of my mouth. Another Ali Hazelwood steminist moment that I'm not mad at. Dare I say I learned something science? Crazy. Hot, 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 raunchy, mouthwatering, lovely, adoring smut. Although this is kind of a given with Ali Hazelwood's writing, referred to the AO3 book dedication that she gives on page 1. She's been giving 100% to her audience when it comes to spice. Love. The AO3 book dedication that I'm talking about is like she dedicated this book to all of the people that started with her on AO3. Legendary. Appreciate your audience, ladies and gentlemen. Very serious bookly note, but I think this is the most original thought, plot, characters, everything I've ever read in a romance of this genre. Along with this, can we please talk about how much Ali Hazelwood's writing has improved since The Love Hypothesis? The writing in this was superb, moi. And I feel like this is pretty obvious, but oh my gosh. My dad watches my videos. Dad, if you're watching this right now, like skip this next part. I feel like this is pretty obvious, but panty dropping, heart throbbing, standard altering Jonathan Smith Turner. Woo! Wow! She's done it again, folks. Another book boyfriend to add to the book boyfriend master list. Sassy king, I would die for him. I'm now changed. My life is divided into before I read this and after. Call me hardened as fuck. This was my Tessa. If you get that, text me on Instagram and we'll talk. Also, Twilight. There were so many Twilight references. Oh, you could see my water bottle. Sorry, guys. Also, Twilight. There were so many Twilight references and like, if you can't tell, I feel like you can kind of look at me and know, you know, deductive reasoning and all. Okay, Check and Mate. I read this on January 23rd, 2024. I gave it 3 stars. I said, this was only this good because Ali Hazelwood wrote it. I'll die for that woman. Definitely not young adult. Just make the genre of this book new adult. It's not like that big a deal. I don't know. Ali Hazelwood's ability to create chemistry with words on paper will never cease to amaze me. I found the FMC, female main character, moderately annoying. That's the review. I really do think that a lot of the discourse around this book could be solved if they just hadn't made it young adult, because I don't think that it's young adult either. But c'est la vie. We move on. Pride. God, I don't know where that came from. I read this on February 18th of 2024 and gave it 3 stars out of 5. I said, okay, and whose idea was it to put an SJM, Sarah J. Maas, book in Ali Hazelwood's hands? I just want to talk. I stand by this. I like Sarah J. Maas. Sarah J. Maas is probably the only other author that I've read all of her books, but I will never make a video about her. Or I actually have made a video about her, but I'll never make like one of these videos about her because there's just too many and it's kind of problematic. So I don't know. I didn't really like it. That's all I'm gonna say for her right now. It's like ARF, you know? On all levels except for physical, I am a wolf. I read Not in Love, this one, I think like last week, maybe 2 days ago, June 16th. It is June 16th. I know I didn't finish it today, so I don't know why it says that. I'm not that bad of a liar. Okay, I didn't give it any star rating because I don't know how I feel. And I'm super indecisive and it will like ruin my week if I make the wrong decision. I said though, I'm super conflicted about this. Part of me is like, goo goo gaga, Ali Hazelwood's romances are getting freakier by the second. And the other part is like, oh, Ali Hazelwood's romances are getting freakier by the second. I think it's probably up to personal preference and what you're searching for in romances. This just wasn't very romantic to me. Hot, yes. But yearning, burning, butter, churning, no. Okay, those are my opinions. Let's rank. Number 1, Love Theoretically. This is the one that I recommend to people to read first, but both times I've done that, they haven't liked it as much as me, so I have no authority on what order you should be reading these in anymore. I took the power away from myself at this point, honestly, but this is my personal favorite. And then next is Love on the Brain, and then what should be next, guys? What do you think? I think it should be Love Hypothesis. I think Love Hypothesis, and then Under One Roof, Stuck With You, Check and Mate, Not in Love, Below Zero, Bride. Sorry, I kind of had to speed run that before I like got it out of my mind. Okay, yeah, that's my ranking. Maybe I'll put like it in a list form on the screen or something that could be helpful. Okay, gang, I guess that's all. I hope that this helped some girls out there. And guys, I don't discriminate. When I say girls, I mean like it's more of an aura, you know, like the girls. I hope that this helps the girls and that you know a little bit more now. Yeah, I'm Allie. Hopefully now I'm your second favorite Allie because I know that the first is Ali Hazelwood, okay? So I can be like close second. I plan on posting more book videos and I love all of you. Should I like do like an ending thing like Star Wars, you know, how they do like the thing? Maybe I'll do that. That could be fun. Like, I don't know. I don't think I have like the technological capabilities, but I guess that we're gonna find out. Bye. Read so many romances and then tell me about them. Love you all. Okay, bye.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.